that Donald Trump is not going to be president forever. And I feel like Kim Jong-un is bending right now because his foreign policy, Donald Trump's foreign policies, are so unforgiving. They're hard. And I'm afraid that the next president that comes in is going to be just as weak as all the other ones before him.
Yeah, I don't know what will be happening after 2020 or 2024 when there's a successor to President Trump. But Kim Jong-un, and very rationally, Brandon, is absolutely hell-bent on staying alive and staying in power at all costs. And we see what he's done to family members, to anyone who potentially reeks of opposition, and that he's in fact willing to risk the relationship he has with a country such as China, which is his #1 supporter, defender, and trade partner. So again, we're dealing with a very different kind of threat than we're dealing with any place else in the world. And I've always personally been quite skeptical of the idea that North Korea under Kim Jong-un would ever really relinquish its entire nuclear weapons program. I don't believe that's going to be a realistic goal. I think the question is, can he be persuaded to dismantle as much of his nuclear weapons program as possible, to end the threats against the United States, against Japan, against South Korea, and to look to see if there's a way to bring him into the international community and minimize the threat that he poses as much as possible. The question is, what is his intention as the dictator in power for life, right, for the next half century or so? He's only 33, I believe, or 34. What is his intention in terms of destabilizing the region in order to maintain his regime? And what can countries such as China especially, and 90% of this equation, Brandon, is China's intentions in North Korea, as well as countries such as Iran and Russia that are always looking to cause trouble for the U.S. and the West. And so I think we have to be very realistic about what is doable, what his intentions are. But what's most important is that we're not ratcheting up the rhetoric and the activities to bring us to war, which would be absolutely devastating, not only for North Korea, but for South Korea, Japan, and potentially for tens of thousands of Americans in those countries, in Guam, in Hawaii, and in Alaska. So the most important thing is pulling back from that precipice of war. And then the question is, how do we conduct diplomacy in a way that upholds American security, stabilizes the region, and minimizes the threat from North Korea?
And it's all very up in the air right now. They are a very unpredictable regime. So we'll just have to hope that what we are doing here, our peace talks, not only take effect, but last.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.